need to learn to reinvent yourself. You have to reinvent the rules of the game. And that is something that you have to do. How do you reinvent yourself? For you to reinvent yourself, you need to work on this courage zone and comfort zone. Look at your day-to-day activities. In your day-to-day activities, in your student life, in your academic life, in your career, there will be a lot of what we call JD, job description, or KRAs. Your activities should be divided in the 60-40 ratio. What is the 60-40 ratio? 60% of what you do on a day-to-day should be in the comfort zone. Things that you naturally enjoy doing, things that you are comfortable doing, things that you are qualified to do. And then 40% of it should be where you put in your effort, where you put in some stretch work. That is the courage zone, things that you are not happy about. And one of the things that you need to also look at this in this same activity is this whole area of, are you happy? For example, the comfort zone, things that you have control over, right? Work on it. There are certain things that you don't have control over. For example, the color of your skin. You're not having any control over. Your height. I mean, there is no increment tonic that you can take and suddenly shoot up. You cannot have control over. Work on your comfort zone, that which you have control over, rather than being upset about that which you do not have control over. But when you do that, you are going to increase your comfort zone. I'll give you a personal example. I moved to Delhi in the year 1982. And this is something personal, so I want you to take it in that spirit. During my childhood days, a lot of my friends, they would tease me for the color of my skin. So I said, man, what's wrong with you? If you want to make a comment on my character, the content of my character, rather than the color of my skin. They would not bother, they would continue to tease me. Anyway, I got selected with DCM as a management trainee in the year 1982. Some of the seniors will know about that particular program. That was the creme de la creme program. 16,842 applicants were there in that particular year, and 13 people got selected. Yours truly was one of them. I said, wow, not bad. Anyway, there were friends of mine, or one friend of mine, who heard about this, and then he said, Anand, you need to come and talk to our JNU students, Jawaharlal Nehru University students, for the IAS aspirants. So they invited me. And when I landed there, they're coming and looking at me. Are you Anand Pillai? They expected some Amitabh Bachchan to come and land. Because they heard a big story. I said, yes, I am. And when I did that, oh, okay. I knew they were not at all willing to listen to me because they looked at me very differently. So I started off and then I said, okay, fine, no problem. I want to ask you the question. How long do you prepare for your IAS degree? They said 4 to 5 years or 4 to 6 years. I said, okay, good. 4 to 6 years. I want to give you a declaration. I got my IAS degree the day I was born. Yeah, that is depends on what IAS is. IAS is invisible after sunset. Immediately these guys, they said, ooh. And then I also told them another thing. I said, listen, you guys are working towards your IAS to become a celebrity. I was a celebrity the day I was born. Really? I said, yes. In fact, I was such a celebrity that people all over the world came to see what it was. Now you tell me, can anybody get better on me on this one? Another day he said, come on, Nikhil here. Puss. You can't get. Mark Twain said this. The ability to take a joke rather than make a joke determines your sense of humor. Conquer your courage zone. It is very, very important. There will be certain things in your life that you need to get over. That could be in your work. I'll give you another instance, an extrapolation of this. In 1996, I was invited as a workshop speaker in Comdex in Las Vegas. And if you know about this event, Comdex, it's a great event. In the morning, Jim Barksdale, Mark Andreessen, some of the others, Scott McNeely were the keynote speakers or the plenary speakers. In the afternoon, the panel sessions were going on. So, 2,000 odd delegates, they are split into 40 or 50 odd sessions, and I was one of those workshop speakers. So the organizers, they said, listen, you're going to kind of be lost in this convention city in Las Vegas. So they gave me clear instructions. 1 hour before the event, a person will come. It takes about 20 minutes for you to be taken there. This person will come and escort you, and he'll come and escort you and take you to the place. His job or her job is to introduce you and get out. So as he went to the place, and of course, you know, Americans are very poor in 3-syllable names, all of us are 3-syllable names. So he came and asked me, met me at the hotel, and he said, "Are you Ananda?" I said, "Yes, I'm Ananda." You know, oh, so I'm your escort, I need to take it. I said, "Okay, all right." He had the sheet of paper in which my profile was, and as he went, the crowd was all gathered, and he had to introduce me. Either he mixed my profile, or he could not pronounce my name, and he's struggling, and everybody is waiting for the intro. And so he blurted out, he possibly missed it, and then he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, for the next session, I've got my colored friend from India." The audience said, "Ooh." I went on, and then I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank my colorless friend for the introduction. Let's go on." Now tell me, if I was hung up on that which I did not have control over, what do you think would have happened to the session? That same day evening, the conference organizers came with a big apology letter and with a gift check, a huge gift check, a box of chocolates and a whole lot of things. They said, "We profusely apologize for what happened. This person has been fired. First of all, he is not part of our organization. He's been hired for the day." I don't know if you know these escorts, they're actually hired for the day. He does not subscribe to our values. They went on and on. And I was wondering why they're making a fuss about something that was casual. They kept on, "Please accept our apology letter." And they made such a big nuisance of themselves that I said, "Okay, you want me to accept your apology letter? Here it is, get out. Get away." They said, "Thank you, Anand." When I shared this to my friends in the US, I said, "Anand, you signed the acceptance of the apology letter. Why did you? You could have sued them." Very best favorite pastime. So supposing I did that, I would have given them the credit. I was not worried. 4 days later, when the conference evaluation happened, yours truly was judged the best speaker. Amidst all that, you have to learn to conquer your courage zone, because that is where you reinvent yourself. There will be some activity in your day-to-day responsibility which appears to be difficult, but you need to conquer it. You need to move. You need to keep on adding that. You know, I was, as I told you, was for 3 decades in the IT industry. I get people who are not wanting to move out of the technical area. I mean, they want Java. They want more training in Java. Then after some time, they want Java beans. And after some time, they want some more Java beans. I mean, what happens? 10 years, you've got so much of Java that Java is oozing out of every logical exit of your body. Are you going to be an expert? No, learn to conquer your courage zone. Work on it. Having done that, you need to learn to build yourself. Yes, reinvent yourself. You need to reinvent yourself. Now build yourself. How do you build yourself? Let me give you this concept of white spaces. Yes, already talked about the blue ocean. Okay? What are white spaces? White spaces is basically an area in which you are company where the strategy and authority are raised, where useful entrepreneurial activity can flourish. Another way of putting it is, white spaces are basically a range of potential opportunities or challenges not defined or addressed by the current business model. How many of you are in a situation, why is he also doing what I am doing? Are you getting that situation? You're constantly treading on each other's toes. But having said that, you need to ask, wait a minute, what is that thing that the company requires which is not defined by any activity? Are you getting that? You know, I want to ask you a simple question. Is everything that Philips India requires, is it clearly bucketed into the departments that you have? Everything that the company needs to be done? What's your answer? No. There are useful spaces. That is the white space. You need to identify that white space. Otherwise you get into competing. You get into competing at the time of appraisal, you get into blurt out the VIP ad. What is the VIP ad? What is it that you got that I don't have? I mean, you have to understand, you are different in a different way. Well, another way of looking at white spaces is basically a metaphor, undoubtedly, for some uniqueness that is there. Something that is there where there is no competition. Any of you have read this book, Blue Ocean Strategy? Chan Kim and Renee Mobot? In fact, if you read the byline of that book is basically how to go after uncontested market space and make competition irrelevant. Yash actually introduced the concept of going after the blue ocean in the talent space. You are all going into the same place to recruit. And you go to the same place, what happens? Irrespective whether you are recruiting engineers or B school students, they all apply one principle. And what is that one principle in recruitment? MBA, money before all. That's all. And there are some people who are willing to sell their soul to the highest bidder. I come across some people who say, man, call me auntie, but tell me candy. They are worried about just that thing. So if you go there where that is an equalizer, you do not have a differentiator. You need to come out with unique ways. And this possibly is one way where you are able to attract talent. It's an entirely new segment space. Everyone, and I want you to understand this, everyone encounters white spaces in their day-to-day jobs, but only those who take advantage of them will truly be successful. And how do you leverage this white space? Let us go on. You need to learn to work on creating your individual career signature, where when they see that, they say, wow, this is so-and-so. This is so-and-so's job. I mean, there is this beautiful situation I'm not in a position to figure out, but it's one of the celebrity painters. I think it was Leonardo da Vinci or Michelangelo. He went to visit a friend of his. When he went to visit a friend of his, the friend wasn't there. So his son was there and he said, okay, tell your father that I came. So this person said, what is your name? So that I can tell who came. He did not give his name. He just took a piece of paper and wrote a circle and gave it back. And when his friend came back, he said, this must be that painter, because only he can draw a perfect circle. The question that you need to ask yourself is, what is it that you are doing in your day-to-day job that leaves a unique stamp mark, a unique career signature, where you and you alone could have done it? That's your career signature. That is your unique branding. How do you build it? And I'll tell you one thing. When you build your career signature, job security is in you, not in the job. You make yourself a valuable commodity. So let me give you the blue ocean strategy of getting the career signature. There are 5 steps. What are the 5 steps? The first step towards creating your career signature is study the business and map it to your passion or your strengths. Study the business world that you are in. Study the business world that Philips is in. Study the business world that your department is in. And then there will be a variety of opportunities. Look at your own strengths. You remember the first 5 steps we did? What is it that is your learning? What is it that is your flow? Where do you get your glimpses of natural excellence? Where do you get your sense of satisfaction? Study that and map it. There are a variety of opportunities and you need to map it to your own passion. The second one is create a big entry barrier for yourself. You want to look at this in a slightly greater detail in the next few slides. Don't look at somebody else. Don't compare yourself with somebody else. Compare yourself with you. You need to be better than you were yesterday. That's something that you need to get and take it forward. The third one is move towards something rather than away from something. Far too often, you know what happens in our career decision, we are constantly running away from something. The question that you need to ask yourself in your job, if somebody asks you, what is it that you want? Well, I don't want this. No, this is what I want. And of course, I do not know how many of you know the difference between career planning and succession planning. In career planning, the fulcrum of the center is you. You are looking at a variety of options. In succession planning, the fulcrum of the center is the position. There are a variety of people around it. You move towards a position that is there of your choice. You start discovering yourself in that dimension. You start building yourself in that dimension. You start reinventing yourself in that dimension. So that when the company does succession planning for that particular position, they find only one, you. And that's what you need to move yourself to. The third one. Fourth one is, and of course those of you, I think there are a few students, I know my friend's student is here, his son is here, they are going to ask you a question, and that question is statement of purpose. Why should we ask you? Why should you be the one recruited? And some summer trainees, you may be there and you'll be asked a question. Why you? And of course they ask that question in a slightly different way. How do they ask that? Tell me more about yourself. And then, I've asked that question and people answer everything. They give me all the details. Short of telling me which was the ward number in which they were born, or who was the midwife who attended to them. Everybody, all details are given. And this answer to this question is different in different scenarios. I'll give you one scenario which was an embarrassing scenario for me. Way back in 1982, as part of my management training, one of the departments that I was supposed to do was the marketing department. So in the marketing department, me and my colleague, we were doing the assignment. DCM Silk was the company. We were asked to interview and select a model for the saris on the dress material that the company was launching. So the two of us, part of our training, we started off the standard question. Various people applied for the position of a model and we asked the question. And as we asked the question, we were shocked or so to get the answer. I asked the question, tell me more about yourself, and I got mathematical figures as the answer. I was totally shocked and we were blushing. And as we were blushing, the candidate on the other side is saying, what's wrong with these guys? You asked me a question and I answered the question. Only when we went did we discover that that was the right answer. The situation determines your answer. What is your uniqueness? So when you do that, I want you to get into the fourth parameter. Fourth parameter is learn to network with value adders, not with aggregators. You know who aggregators are? You can spend 5 minutes with them or 5 hours with them and you come back the same. Or chances are you come back with negative energy. But value adders are people who add value to what you are thinking, add value to what you are developing as an individual. The fifth one is create your own blue ocean. And I'm going to give you a method of each one of you creating your own blue ocean so that at the end of the session you know what your blue ocean map is going to look like. Let's go into the details. Okay? The detail is this one. Let's get this. This is the blue ocean. Now I know the book does not talk about it in this level of granularity. Let me simplify the blue ocean grid. The blue ocean grid is best understood by looking at the x-axis and the y-axis. On the x-axis is value from low to high. On the y-axis is cost or effort from low to high. And if you read the book, Blue Ocean Strategy, those of you who have read the book, what is the one common example that is given there? Anybody know? Yes, which company? There's one company that is Southwest Airlines, Cirque du Soleil, Southwest Airlines. In fact, there is one Indian airline company which has copied the model completely. And that is? Indigo. Thank you. Indigo. Yeah, so Indigo has copied the model completely. So let us take the airline example. Let us look at an airline. What is it that which is in the airline of the various services that they are giving, which is low in value and high in cost or effort? What is it? Go on, all of us are flown. What is that the airline gives, which is low in value of the various things that they give, but high in cost or effort for that? Food, thank you. Food. It is low in value. It is what I call an alimentary canal decision. It is low in value, but it is high in cost or effort. Why is it high in cost or effort for them to give the same commodity which is low in value outside? Because the food has to be carried. It carries a particular weight and therefore it brings down the fuel efficiency. That's the first thing. And then it occupies space, right? Has to be kept warm. And how do you refrigerate it or heat it? Using electricity? No, aviation fuel. And therefore it is far more costly. And does everybody go and pick up their own pack? No, you need people to serve them. And then after they serve, you need to clean them. So what did Indigo do? Or Southwest Airlines do? Eliminate it. That's all. You pick up your food before. And of course, all of us, this is true for training too. You go for a training event, the training is fantastic, but the food is lousy. When the feedback comes, what happens? Training is lousy. That's exactly what happens. So you go to an airline, and then you fly, and then after the food is lousy, what happens to your service? Service is bad. Why get into that? That's a category C item. Eliminate that. So much so that you have a disclaimer, we are not associated with that. Are any of you in that category where you fly because of the food they are eating. I mean, for example, tonight I need to have dinner. Do I look at, wait a minute, which airline gives good food? Tomorrow morning I need to have breakfast. Which airline gives good breakfast? Let me take a flight. Nobody is in that category. Yet have you seen airlines advertising gourmet food? Want to go into the rest, you go right. I mean, yeah, that's a category say item. Eliminate it. Look at your own career. Look at your own day-to-day activities. There are certain things that you do it routinely, but you need to eliminate it. How do you understand the item in this particular quadrant? Whether you do it or don't do it, it does not matter. It does not get noticed. So eliminate that. I give you an example from my own personal life. I had a traveling job almost 2 or 3 years after I started my career. From that time onwards, I am traveling. One of the things that used to happen to me, or I had what I thought then was a good habit, but now is a bad habit. When I come back from my travel, 5 days of travel, 6 days of travel, I had the habit of reading all the newspapers of the days that I was not in town. So read all the newspapers. I come back about 10 o'clock. You know, my mother, my maid, or my sister, all of them will be in tension because you had to keep the papers in the proper order when I get to my room. And then I read in the morning, you know, one day it was not kept in the proper order and I got angry with my sister. Now what happened? I told you, you know the standing instruction. You need to keep all the papers in the proper order for me to catch up on the news. And then afterwards, you know, my sister, she asked me, when did you discover that it was not in the proper order? Well, 2 days later. So she said, so it doesn't matter to you whether it is in the proper order or not. Then I said, what she said is true. Because the news is the same. The dates and the names are changed. Somebody left a party, somebody did not leave a party. Some bank got robbed, some bank did not get robbed. Somebody got raped, somebody did not get raped. And here in the capital. I said, man, what is this? This is activities which is just repeating. It does not matter. So eliminate that in your day-to-day life. Really, I'm not saying any activity that is low in value to your organization and high in cost or effort, learn to eliminate. And you need to do this in proper order because this is where you create the bandwidth and the energy and the capacity to invest somewhere else. And then look at certain other things. That which is low in value and low in cost or effort. For example, in an airline, the fabric or the interior decor of the airline, whether it is leather or whether it is red leather or black leather, does it matter? Or fabric. Reduce that. And of course, you understand, one airline wanted to go into the red, so they had red all over. I mean, man, no prices for doing all those things. Eliminate that. First eliminate, then reduce. Once you have done this, you have created capacity to go into the next quadrant. What is that next quadrant? And an airline, what is that which is high in value, but also high in cost for the service provider in an airline industry? On time, right? On time arrival and on time departure. It is very, very important. Why is, we all know that it is very high in value, but why is it high in cost or effort for the airline company? They need to be in the airport before time. In fact, technically, the aircraft must have a very high MTBF, mean time between failure. That means the aircraft must be serviced very well, overhauled very well. I mean, the turnaround time, we read the book, Southwest Airlines, nuts, you know, they have a turnaround time of 10 minutes. You know, within 10 minutes, they need to turn the aircraft around for the next flight. So, there is a lot of ground crew that are involved. There is a lot of service cost that goes up. So while it is high in value for you as a consumer, you know that, but it is also high in cost or effort for them. Now tell me one thing, can they raise this well above the industry standard without having eliminated and reduced and still be profitable? What's the answer? No. You first will have to learn to eliminate, then reduce, and then go and raise this well above the industry standard. So look around you. I'm sure there is a blue ocean where there is some activity, some KRA which is high in value to your department or your company. But for you to excel, for you to create a differentiator, you not only have to do what everybody else is doing, but you'll have to rise above the industry standard, rise above what everybody else is doing. And you will be able to do that without any stress because you have spare capacity. You have eliminated. So you will have to do this in your own self. You will have to see where you are going after and reduce this. And finally, go into that particular area which is low in cost or effort and high in value. Again, in an airline industry, what is that which is low in cost or effort and high in value? Customer service, right? Does it cost anything for you to smile? Yes, no, maybe I'll do some research and get back to you. Ask some of our carriers, I mean, they go through labor pains when they have to smile. Just smile. That's all. I mean, there's this friend of mine in this airline, as he was traveling, poor guy, he dozed off. I mean, he pressed the button because he wanted water. Water did not come, and he just dozed off. After some time, the air hostess realized that there's somebody who's pressed the button. She came and she released the light on, and she said, "Now what do you want?" Poor guy, this guy was disturbed in his sleep. "Mama, I don't want it." No prizes for guessing which airline it is. I mean, you need to get into that particular space. That particular space where you are saying it takes a little bit of energy for you. Create your own blue ocean. You can apply this in talent acquisition. You can apply this in talent management. You can apply this in succession planning. You need to learn to eliminate on a day-to-day basis and then move on. This is where you get that. And finally, having done this, you need to let go of yourself. Refine. I mean, there are some things that you are hanging on. You remember that eliminate, you still hang on to it. You want to do it because you like doing it. Learn to let go of yourself, and I want to give you 3 things that you need to let go of. Giving up, you need to learn the fundamental principle. And what is that? If you want to go up, you must learn to give up. What are the 3 things that you must give up? First thing that you must give up is give up affirmation for accomplishment. Don't look for affirmation. Look for accomplishment. And if you look for accomplishment, you will get affirmation in the long run. But work on adding value. Work on creating impact. When you do that, don't have to go for man pleaser. Don't go for the yes man. Go for doing something that you are cut out for and accomplish something. Leave that career signature in the place where you are working. Sooner or later, you will get that affirmation. That's the first thing. Give up affirmation for accomplishment. The second one is give up security for significance. Many of us are stuck up in job security. So much so that we keep on doing the same thing over and over again because we want to be specialists. No, work on becoming significant in your job. And this is where I want each one of you to ask your question. There are plenty of seniors here. Ask yourself the question, do you have 10 years of experience? And then ask yourself the next question, is that 10 years of experience or is it 1 year of experience multiplied by 10? Are you becoming significant in your job or are you just building security around your job? To be a pioneering leader, you need to have that ability to make yourself and what you do significant. If you have applied the 5-5 principle earlier, you will get into that. And the third thing that you must give up is give up immediate victory for long-term sustainability. All of us know in our appraisals, nobody gives heed to the horn effect or the halo effect. You all know that, right? Don't look for immediate victory. Look for something that is sustainable on a long-term basis. That's something that you'll have to do. Give up immediate victory for the long-term sustainability. Having said that, the last one I want you to do is learn to invest in yourself. Because as time goes by, you need to invest in yourself. What are the 5 areas you need to invest in yourself? I'll give you the acronyms twice. Invest yourself in your spiritual aspect. I'm not talking about your religion. That's personal. I'm talking about your value system. Are you renewing? Are you investing in your values on a day-to-day basis? That's the first one. The second one is learn to invest in yourself physically. Some of us, we don't take care of our physical bodies. I'll give you an example. About 10 years ago, I was holidaying in Malaysia. My uncle, who was in his mid-60s, I was on the beanbag, couch potato, with a TV TV remote and I'm watching the TV, and my uncle in his mid-60s, he is on the cycling machine. He's cycling. I said, man, what's wrong with you? Take it easy. Bindas. I mean, why do you want to push yourself? You're being 60. And I'm here watching the TV on the beanbag. Take it easy. So he did not listen. No, I want to catch up on my exercise. While you're watching the TV, I'm very frustrated with you because you're switching the channel. I said, okay, I'll stick to the channel, but you don't try to watch me. Let's watch the TV together. He said, no, I want to catch up on my exercise. So I thought I'd give you my words of wisdom. So I told him, Mama, what are you pushing yourself for? One day all of us will die. Come on, let's enjoy. You know what he said? Anand, if you die in one day, all of us will be happy. But if you die over many days, we'll all be sad. I said, oh man. And I remembered an aunt of mine who died over a period of 14 months. Boy, I got serious. I better be physically active. Learn to invest in yourself physically. Because I tell you, the IT industry, or any industry for that matter, age is a liability, not an asset. Unless you're physically agile. We need to learn to invest in ourselves physically. The third area we need to learn to invest is in our intellect. Yes, you did finish your graduation, but that was years ago. Are you reading constantly? Are you investing in yourself intellectually? Whatever it was that got you where you are today is not sufficient to keep you there. Are you updating your knowledge? The world in which we are living in is changing rapidly. Third area, invest in yourself intellectually. Fourth area, invest in yourself in the community. And I'll tell you one thing, I do not know how many of you know, in the social world, you are known by the company you keep. How many friends you have. What is your cloud score? How many followers you are having on Twitter, on LinkedIn. And today, you have no excuse. You need to learn to network with the community. Invest in the community. And the last one is invest in yourself emotionally, your emotional response. Daniel Goleman was the one who defined this EQ. You need to control. What is basically EQ? It is your ability to respond to pain and pleasure in an appropriate manner. And there I want to give you a small incident. There is this mother who picked up her son from the school. And as she was driving him from the school, the boy asked the mother a question, which some of us here will be able to answer. And the question the boy asked is, Mommy, how come idiots appear on the road only when daddy is driving? And some of us know the answer to the question, the people in here. It is your emotional response. Invest in yourself emotionally. And finally, be yourself. You know why? Because everybody else is already. Thank you.